All right, how we doing, everyone? Welcome back to Christine's channel. Sorry it's been a while since we've been here. We've been traveling quite a lot. It's summer, so there's just a lot of things going on. There's going to be some nice videos coming up. We did a big adventure out in Channel Islands where we did spent a lot of time in the water. Christine got to mermaid, and we saw all kinds of interesting things, sea life, big kelp forest, so forth. But again, that's an upcoming video. Right now, this is van video.
Trying to find some balance in my life.
Right now I'm working on the flooring in the van, putting the flooring in. That's the step we're at. We've been trying to decide what we wanted to do for flooring. We wanted something fairly simple, obviously waterproof, just because it's a van and we go obviously to water destinations quite often. So we're bringing in, dirt and, again, wet. So we don't want carpet. We also need something that can hold up to it. So we were thinking vinyl or linoleum. But again, that's sometimes tougher to put in, or if you rip it, then you have to do the whole thing over. So we decided then on vinyl plank, and this is what we decided on. We didn't want anything that was wood looking or wood appearance, because we've got a lot of wood in here with the barn wood. We wanted something then fairly neutral, because the wood's already pretty dark. So we wanted something that was going to be lighter, almost even white, but we wanted a very simple pattern. So this is what we ended up getting. Lucida. And it is just a vinyl plank flooring, waterproof, glue down. So instead of self-adhesive, I didn't want self-adhesive, I wanted to glue it down. This is the pattern. It's supposed to look like a linen or a fabric. Again, something very simple. And that's what we wanted. You can see here, one little piece. It's not obviously laid in yet. It's just sitting on there. But with all of the dark wood that we have, something lighter is what we were looking to do. You can see how this is going to go tie in with the white that we have for the bathroom. So that's what I'm doing now. I've got some of the panels out here. Obviously that the floor is going to go underneath, so that way I can glue it up. What I'm going to do is glue this directly to the floor. These are just a vinyl plank. They don't have any backing. Some of them have a little rubber backing and so forth, which makes it a little more cushion. But in this application, we have such a little amount of floor, I wasn't too worried about that, and I don't want it actually, when we move, for this to want to move around any. So we're going to basically just glue it straight to the floor, and I'm happy then we don't have a vinyl backing for that. What I planned on using then here is just liquid nails. It's Fuse It. This is their all-surface, multi-purpose, adhesive. It actually will set up pretty quickly, so it'll actually be set up usually in 4 to 6 hours, fully cured in 24. Fairly good bonding, and again, for wood onto vinyl, I think this will work real well. I haven't tried it before, so I don't know. I didn't want to use a regular flooring adhesive for what you normally put this in the house, mainly because this freezes. The van sits out in the winter. We keep it in storage, but the storage is not heated. So because of that, I didn't want it to freeze, or I didn't know what it would do if it froze. I didn't know if that shrinking contraction would crack that floor or crack the glue. So I wanted something that remained a little bit flexible and that would be able to give and take just a little bit as it heats and contracts, and hopefully will stay then solid. So I'm going to clean up the floor. I've got a number of the panels out that I need to, so I can get to the areas that I want to glue it down to. I'm going to cut all these to size first, so that way I'm ready to glue down, and then we'll glue them in place. All right, I'm working on now filling in this part of the floor here. If you've watched the other videos, you realize this is just a little channel where I left the subfloor out, and I did that so that way I could have access then to anything going from one side to the other side of the van. I want to be able to have access and ability to add things if I need to. All right, this is electrical, 120. This is 12 volt, this is 12 volt. And then obviously the hot and cold plumbing there. If I ever had a leak, it's on the bottom. It goes down out of the van instead of then coming from the ceiling down. So what I need to do now is I need to fill in as if there was subfloor here. And that's what these pieces are doing here. You can see they're the same thickness of the subfloor, so they fit right in there, as if they were there the whole time. But because I'm going to run an aluminum plate over top of this underneath then the floor, I actually have to trim this down the thickness of the aluminum plate, which is about 1/8 of an inch. That way, if I ever needed access, I will take the whole plate plus the piece of floor out. Okay, so these pieces are done here. Here's the aluminum top for this, which becomes now the floor. I've scuffed it so that way the glue will stick to it easy. And time to glue on the last piece of flooring there. And you can see how this is going to work then. You can see this is glued down and on top of that aluminum, and it then just slides into place here. Sorry, there we go. It slides into place like so. I've countersunk some screws that I'll put in here. These will then be hidden by the drawer on this side and by the face under here. And for the floor underneath the cabinet, I'm going to use this rubber coin, material here. It is a little thicker than the vinyl is. And again, I'm going to glue it down. I picked this just because we want something dark. We want something with a little bit of grip to it so the stuff won't slide around as much. I am going to put a little edge between the vinyl and the rubber here, so that way hopefully it'll keep things from sliding out some. But I'm going to get this cut and mount it underneath the cabinets. And here is then the rubber installed. See, this just glued down. Use that little aluminum there to cover the junction. Just form fitted around the gaps there. Glued it in place. There we go. Didn't do a lot of video installing it just because there's not much to see since I had to reach under the cabinet to do it. But there's the finished product. The rest of the floor is in here. I've still got to attach then these panels, put the drawer back in, put these back in. Then we'll be all done with that part.
Okay guys, so stuff has been happening. Things have been done. I know this has been a long overdue update, but here we go. Cabinets are done. Countertop is not yet, but we have a temporary plywood. And then shower is ready to go. Floor is done. This is really cool, starting to tidy things up a little bit more. We don't have the upholstery done yet. That's going to take time, but we still need to do walls, ceiling, and that's about it. We're going on a trip, taking Molly. Molly is so excited to come with, and I'm excited too. Haven't taken the van out, but that's what Matt has been busy doing in the entire summer, and taking a few road trips to the track, really finding out what works best in the van, and I think we're finding all that out. I highly suggest if you're building a van, test it out in between builds. Test it out if things work. There's certain things, the cameras are kind of acting goofy, so we might be changing that. But other than that, we're going to take you along on a trip.